Hi, Astro friends. It's Melanie on the 4th of February 2025. Believe it or not, there was just a hummingbird here buzzing, rising and diving in front of my balcony as I started the recording. Yes, the hummingbirds are still out, and it's winter here on Vancouver Island. At this point, probably just as usual for 1 week, but now we have snowy ground, and I welcome that. And I hope you are okay in your wintry space, that it's safe to move around and you can actually enjoy this weather. So, what's going on with the astro weather? We're now fully in the Aquarius new moon cycle together with the Chinese and lunar new year of the yin green wood snake, and snake has the snake has emerged, has come out of her egg with the first crescent moon, which was last Friday. Actually the new moon was on Wednesday, so I would say Friday, Saturday. And now we're in the waxing moon phase, building up to the Leo Aquarius pre-Valentine's full moon on February 12th. A lot has been going on in the last few days, so you probably also feel that buzz and the thrill, but maybe also lots of excitement of all sorts with the still stationary Uranus. Uranus turned around on the 30th of January, right after the new moon on the 29th, and now Jupiter also turned around this morning in Gemini. And so many ideas, so many questions, so much is going on in the whole mental sphere. I had last week a client with lots of Gemini, first time client, and his second astro immersion after quite a while. And we talked a lot about the alchemy, which Gemini also is about. And it does come up for Gemini, of course, because it deals a lot with dualities and polarities, with yin and yang, with this and that, with thesis, antithesis, with all the things that are can drift us apart, can actually bring us even into division. But Gemini is about alchemizing these polarities, and that can have to do simply with a good conversation, or also more research, more information, that you can see the other side and learn more. Jupiter now in Gemini until June the 9th. This is a Jupiter in Gemini year since last end of May. And it's still about lifelong learning. So how can we celebrate that and be curious rather than making assumptions and judgments, right? So this is celebrating the gifts of Gemini with Jupiter there now. And Jupiter going forward, of course, it takes a little bit for it to take some momentum. So I would say in the next few weeks, we can see that more positivity, more options, more possibilities are opening up. The journey, the path is more open, and that's great. And then when Mars even goes out of retrograde on the 23rd of February, and that will catch up more momentum with the Pisces new moon on the 27th. Then we have a retro-free phase, which happens once a year, and this time it's a short one until Mercury goes retro on the 14th of March, the next full moon. So a lot about all this speaking of Jupiter, Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is currently also strong in Gemini, where it's exalted, and Mercury will also meet the Sun. That's coming up this week on the 9th. Yes, Mercury-Sun conjunction on the 9th in Aquarius, where Mercury is the strongest. So this is also a heightened time to raise consciousness about what can really bring liberation, and that can be in a very practical way, but also in an ultimate spiritual way, right? Liberation, freedom, new ideas, innovation, new solutions, new systemic thinking, all of that very Aquarian, right? So, of course, with a big boost from Pluto in Aquarius now to stay until 2043, 44. And that process of evolution has just begun. Then the planet of Aquarius, Uranus, as I said, turned direct on the 30th, right after the Aquarius new moon. So, of course, it was such, and it has been, it still is, such an Aquarius energy lately. And Uranus being the liberator, being the awakener, being also the energy that brings shifts and surprises and also shock waves sometimes, right? I'm thinking actually of the earthquake tremors in Santorini at this point, right? Uranus in Taurus. So again, people have been evacuated and hopefully everybody's safe, and hopefully the earth is just doing a little, shake up to realign the plates and not really destruction. And yes, we are also waking up with Uranus in Taurus into Earth consciousness in so many regards. And that can have to do with a renewed connection with nature and with all her beings. And it can happen surprisingly in sweet interventions like the hummingbird or the birds popping up here on my balcony these days, and also with an awakening of the senses, awakening of our values, right? And with grounding the light, right? There's so much light energy, and the spiritual dimension really wants to use us to anchor that energy. It's just like with electricity; it has to be grounded, otherwise things can get a little dangerous. And so this is our job, to ground, to embody the light and the light of freedom, and very much, very prominent at this point in the Uranian turnaround and in Aquarius season. Now, Mercury Uranus, right? Sorry, Mercury Sun conjunction. Then both Mercury and the Sun will square Uranus the 2 days after, on the 10th and 11th of February, in preparation for the Leo Aquarius full moon. So here's the chart already for next week's full moon on the 12th of February. And as you see, Sun, Mercury are conjunct, and they are squaring Uranus. Plus the whole full moon sphere, of course, then also T squares Uranus. So Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is quite the outlet of this full moon, again, after having turned direct after the new moon, day after the new moon. So again, super important to be that grounding energy while so much is swirling around these days. And that's why I also had probably also had the intuition before starting the recording, that to make an emphasis of this astrology take here and gift to you, and offering is no frills. It's very grounded. It's not woo-woo. We need to actually bring all these energies rather than having them sort of in a separate sphere, right? There's lots of separation, division in that regard as well, right? There's the spiritual crowd, so to say, and there's the grounded crowd. So how can we bring that together, actually, right? So again, celebrating unification and integration and alchemy. And that, of course, is relevant for all of us in our daily lives. So rather than being in different dimensions yourself and different groups of people, and that is great to celebrate. but not in a kind of divisive way, but in an integrative way, that it grounds us, but at the same time also it gives us a spiritual context and more freedom, and that doesn't have to be two worlds, right? So again, integration. And the full moon will be a really beautiful one with the moon in Leo. So it's a lot about celebration, and it's about the uh, bridging Leo and Aquarius, right? Leo is the creative self, and also somebody who might be a celebrity or might be just a super creative person who shines and who is being celebrated. Actually, a friend's birthday will be on that day. So it's very sweet, right? And Aquarius is community, and it's about friendship, and where everybody is a star. I like that quote, everybody is a star in the constellation of love. It's an all-time favorite quote that I heard a while ago. Yeah, so that dynamic is very much on with the full moon. What else is on? Again, inspired by the full moon chart. As I said, Jupiter here, right? Jupiter will be at the full moon unaspected, so it has a life of its own as well. This is about lightness, learning, also air element. And then what's with Mars? So Mars is still retrograde on at that full moon minute or hour, so to say, from West Coast perspective on the descendant. In other words, it's setting in the west before the moon sets, before the full moon sets. Um, the full moon, by the way, will be at 5:53 a.m., so before sunrise, and moon will be setting in the west. And then Mars, right? So Mars still retrograde until 23rd of February. So we're coming into this Mars U-turn here soon. Mars in Cancer. And we've seen evidence of that in real life between the two, at least the two Cancerian countries of US and Canada lately. Now, thankfully, this whole trade um, tariffomania and trade war, pending trade war, is at least now suspended. That's good news, and we don't want more division and unnecessary competition and warfare, even on an economic level, between countries that are actually, yeah, brothers and sisters, right? I mean, all countries, but why Canada, US, right? And Mars retro also since December 6th already retro, so we're coming to the last phase of that now. We can do a review of that. So how has that been for you in terms of also going for Mars is like also the passion, the action, the courage also that's sometimes needed to go to where you feel at home, and that is Cancer, right? And also where you feel you belong and with whom you feel you belong. That can be your tribe, that can be an environment, a country, an energy field, a vibe that is your tribe. So all of that, right? And family, of course, right? So, but there could have been also conflict and battling of different needs and desires during that time, not just country wise, but also in families and maybe inside of you as well. But also good time to retreat and prepare for it's basically a hibernation, cozy hibernation energy to prepare for what's to come and where to move forward, what to move forward with, right? So also taking good care of our needs and nurturing ourselves proactively and others, and getting lots of beautiful satisfaction out of that. Then, yeah, Mars goes direct on February 3rd. So, what's with the moon this week? And maybe first of all, what's with the phase we're in Aquarius? What's with the decanates? My glasses keep going down. Okay. So we are now still in the central decanate of Aquarius, with also Aquarius undertone, right? Yet another indicator, it's such an Aquarian, Uranian energy. And that goes until Saturday the 8th. And so that is all about friendship, freedom, and this whole spectrum I talked about before. And then from the 9th on, already the third and last decanate and 10 degrees of Aquarius start. So in the calendar, February 9th to 18th. And on the 19th, usually, the sun enters Pisces. But this year, the sun enters Pisces already on the 18th, also early. And so 18th being a transition day. That last 10 days, last 10 degrees of Aquarius have in my system, which I love and keep applying, have a Gemini undertone. So now, also through that double whammy, Jupiter in Gemini comes out strongly, and Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, comes together with the Sun. So we have this uh, Gemini Aquarius dynamic team going on, especially from the 9th on, when also the Sun Mercury conjunction is 10th, 11th, with the Sun square Uranus, Mercury square Uranus, then the full moon, and Jupiter in Gemini now going direct. So much information, communication, but also all in the name of lightness and also freedom. Jupiter and Uranus are different aspects of freedom. With Uranus, it's more like breakthroughs, liberation, paradigm shifts. Sometimes that happens also through some divine intervention, right? And stuff like that. And with Jupiter, it's more the freedom of movement, the freedom to see and understand and maybe outgrow a situation and get more space. So, all of that, yeah, freedom to fly, very much apropos Jupiter in Gemini. Then, that's the Aquarius decanates of this week. And what's with the moon? As I said, the moon is now in Taurus. Yesterday, the third was an epically long void, of course. Void, of course, moon, maybe the longest, definitely the longest in a month, but maybe the longest in several months. And so you had all a sense, as I did, maybe you did too, of what that's about. When the moon makes her last aspect to a planet before she goes into the next sign, that's the phase of being in void. Void, of course. And that was yesterday. In retrospect, here was yesterday from 1. Sorry. Okay. The moon was in Aries, was going going void, of course, from 2:19 a.m. until 7:33 p.m. That was 17 and a half hours. A very long void phase during the day. That's typically when we notice it the most. Void is perfect for sleep and and rest. And but now during the day, things can totally be kind of fuzzy, not going anywhere, going in circles, going in loops, and time to back off sometimes also, right? And take it easy and go with the flow, but also maybe pick up something from the energy field that you wouldn't otherwise. And now the moon is more solidly in her beloved and most favored sign of Taurus since yesterday evening, 7:33 p.m. All day today, a very grounded day, a day of, again, literally grounding the energy. Here's another hummingbird. I can't believe it. It's so sweet. Yeah, they're out there and they're looking for food and they're bringing joy wherever they go. Here she goes. And so, Moon in Taurus. Taurus is also about joy, more like a grounded joy, joy of food, all your senses, right, being stimulated. And what do we need, right, in that regard with the moon? How do we bring more joy? How do we bring more groundedness, more healthy satisfaction? And at the same time, the moon will also connect with Uranus, which is now in Taurus, which it does then, of course, once a month. And that moon Uranus connection will be tomorrow, Wednesday, at 11:10 a.m., almost 11:10 a.m. So that is the critical juncture of the Taurus moon, right? Whenever she meets Uranus, Uranus gets activated. So again, more maybe some shifts in awareness, how you could bring more joy, how you could do more of what you really love and what you value, right? And life is here, right? Life is here to be enjoyed, and yeah, being grateful for that, and for a healthy body, and everything that is stable in our lives. Then the moon, yeah, here's ambulance, right? So all these wake up calls, uh, all these reminders how precious life is. At the same time, sending blessings to those who are in the ambulance, to the helpers, to those who need help, and so on. Then the moon will enter Gemini on Wednesday, tomorrow evening, 10:44 p.m., and will be in Gemini on Thursday the 6th, on Friday the 7th, until Saturday, early morning 3:04 a.m. So quite a moon in Gemini, 2 days plus. And with Gemini, of course, the moon will activate Jupiter, which is now stationary. So that will be on Thursday evening. So that at that time I will do a parlor, or before that, a parlor at one of our parlor ladies of the astrology gatherings we did, and now she invites us to her place because she's not so mobile anymore, and she's a wonderful, really fantastic elder who inspires us how to age well, and in this case we visit her. So that will be great for learning, for conversation, very much apropos moon in Gemini, and joint learning, and celebrating also the gifts of inspiration and friendship in that regard, common interests, right? Then the moon will go into her Cancerian abode on Saturday the 8th, and will be in Cancer over the weekend, Saturday 8th at 3 or 4 a.m., right? We'll be in Cancer over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, until Monday, 9:01 a.m., when she goes into Leo. So that can be a beautiful weekend for any homey activities, or relaxed, gentle, nurturing, and a beautiful time to be with family and to take care of our needs, and tune into our rhythms and cycles and so on. Then on Monday, the moon will go into Leo, where she will be full on Wednesday the 12th. So, yeah, this is more about celebration, expression, and showing our colors, and being out there, and yeah, out and about, and being seen and loved, and spreading our love and sharing our love. As I said, with Aquarius, love is here for all of us. And that's a beautiful sentiment to end on, because this will be, of course, also the Valentine's, pre-Valentine's full moon that's coming up on the 12th, with Valentine's 2 days later. And wish you a beautiful week, and hope to see you at some point in real life, maybe this week. And oh, by the way, Valentine's. My Valentine's offer is now on, my Valentine's special, since the 2nd, and it goes until the 22nd, with 22% a discount on all relationship sessions. Check it out in the link below here on this video. There will be a link to the Facebook page, Facebook event page, and my Facebook page as well. And you can find blog articles, of course, for all these shifts that I've been talking about on my WordPress blog, also linked below. Wish you a beautiful week, and see you in a community, or you see me again in video format next week. Bye.